Okay, who wants to see President Trump kicking ass? Yeah, thought you would. Right, let's take a look at this. This is a situation where President Trump is telling people that federal law is going to stop men from taking part in women's sports. He talking to somebody from Maine. I don't know quite who she is, but he says, although I did very well in Maine, they're somewhat left, people even in Maine don't want women to have to compete against men. And let's just hear, I'll play the rest of it, let's just hear this little bit of the exchange because it's wonderful.
Population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply, because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good.
Did you hear what she just said? See you in court.
I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one.
The sound wasn't that good, but she shouted, I'll see you in court. And he said, yeah, right, that's going to be a really easy one. And I'm Granniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. Two Tumwater High School girls, basketball players, sat out of their last game of the year on February the 6th against Shelton High School because one of Shelton's team members identifies as a trans woman. Frances Stout, 15, is one of the Tumwater students who sat out of the game. She was interviewed with her mother by Brandy Cruz, an internet personality and political commentator. A portion of the interview was shared publicly online. Stout told Cruz that while she was warming up for the February the 6th game, she saw her mom walk over to her coach. Her mom told her coach there was a man on the Shelton team. Stout said, sure enough, there was. I made the decision to sit out and I did not play 1 minute of that game because I have a right for my safety and I should be allowed to play against girls. And that was wonderful. Good for her. I mean, stout. I mean, in English, the word stout means strong. It can mean somewhat overweight as well. But in this case, I'd say it means with a strong personality. Tumwater School District spokesman Laurie Wiedenmeyer, has everybody in Tumwater German? Said Washington is one of several states with robust anti-discrimination protections, including for LGBTQ plus individuals. These laws apply to schools, workplaces and other areas, and they include protections based on gender identity and expression. The state's legal framework remains valid unless explicitly preempted by federal law, which I believe it does now. And this generally requires congressional action rather than an executive order. Oh, well, I'm not really up on American jurisprudence, so she may be right, but she's still wrong. Wiedenmeyer also shared the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association's Inclusivity Toolkit. Oh, this is nonsense. Here. So, let's have a listen to this.
Order by allowing biological males to compete against female athletes and use women's facilities. One official writing, quote, the Minnesota State High School League and the California Interscholastic Federation are free to engage in all the meaningless virtue signaling they want, but at the end of the day, they must abide by federal law. Riley Gaines is an Outkick.com host and the host for the Gaines for Girls podcast, and Caitlin Wheeler.
Okay, and these are the three, the two of the athletes. This one is a swimmer, and she makes a really good point here at the end. Let me play that for you.
When I saw this, I thought to myself, well, it's about time they're finally being forced essentially to clean up their own mess, because for years now we've seen they've allowed males to rewrite the women's records books And now they're realizing what we've been shouting all along. Those wins were illegitimate in the first place, and they never should have counted. So restoring those records and titles is the bare minimum of what they should be doing.
All right, Caitlin Riley, thank you so much for joining us as always.
Yeah, and she's absolutely right. And the worst of it is, of course, in America especially, you get scholarships based on sporting results. If you come first in some, if you're really good at a particular sport, then you're likely to get a place at a good university based on your sporting performance. And so these so-called trans men have been stealing women's places at university. It's not just a matter of stealing a medal, which is bad enough because these young women worked very hard to get at the top of their sport for their sex. And then this man walks in and just walks away with it. That's bad enough. But then to walk away with a scholarship to a good university, that is murderous. It has an impact on everything that girl does for the rest of her life. And it's totally shameless. And at this point, as I have said in other videos, I have my disagreements with some of Trump's ideas. But on this one, he is absolutely 199% right. Well, 1000% right. Why go cheap? He's absolutely right. And let's just play that little exchange again because it's so nice.
2 weeks ago, I signed an executive order banning men from playing in women's sports. Many Democrats are fighting me on that. I hope you continue because you'll never win another race. The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine?
Huh? Down here.
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's...
Just look at her face. She looks like she's just bitten into a pickled lemon.
Somewhat liberal, although I did very well there. Your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
I'll see you in court.
Every state... Good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one.
Okay. Well, there you are. Trump is doing something really good, really great for women in sports in America. And of course, I hope that this has its effect all round the world. Women have been diabolically badly treated, especially in America. And I'm really glad it's getting cleared up now by the terrible, terrible man, Donald Trump. Yeah, okay, till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.